Rachael Ray Double R doing some double M's. Woo! Food that you can make so quick it will free you up for more free time in your life. Look at that crispy skin. Delish. Ooh, that smells amazing. Boom! Nailed it! Hey guys, Double R doing double M's, meals in minutes. I'm gonna try and give you the Italian flag. 3 different pastas, 3 different colors. First of all, the pasta that we're cooking is peachy. The 3 sauces are cacio e pepe. Cacio means sheep's milk cheese. Copious amounts of grated pecorino romano. Pepe means pepper. Black pepper, coarse ground, okay? Done. Green, pesto. Basil, all your classic elements, Parmigiano Reggiano, olive oil, little garlic. I always add a little lemon, but not just pine nuts. I did Sicilian pistachios and pignole combined. About a 1/4 cup total. And that is a total lie that I did that. I made John do it before we started. I totally cheated, but I'm infamous for burning 2 things, bread and nuts. I know, you're giggling, that sounds funny. So the sauce that's probably gonna take us the longest time is alione. It's a cherry tomato sauce that's very, very heavy on garlic. What's fun about this sauce is that you can make it year-round because guess what does not go out of season? Cherry tomatoes. And it's a very fresh, bright sauce. But let's just start with the garlic. Honey, in that first drawer, can you hand me the Polly in jail thing?
The who?
The truffle shaver. Polly in jail. So in the movie Goodfellas, my friend Paul Sorvino had one of the most climactic scenes, I thought, where he's literally cooking in jail. And he had a system. He shaves the garlic with a razor blade. I do not recommend that for you, okay? But what I do recommend, a truffle shaver is not a bad tool because it can shave garlic poly-thin. Look at that. Anyway, our first pot is this back pot. And we're going to start the alione, the garlic, that's what that means, alione. Alio is the garlic. Alio e olio is garlic and oil, okay? So what do I have to do immediately? I have to get tomato in there. I need liquid to keep that from singeing or burning. I'm gonna take cherry tomatoes, put them between 2 deli lids, and cut straight across. Let's pretend you didn't see one of them fell on the floor, but if I slipped, that's what it was. And I'm just gonna keep doing that. All right, look at that. 12, 15 at a time we're getting. I make my bench scrapes with sides. See? So I can move food. Boom. Boom. Are we done? No. We're just trying to keep up with the heat in the pan and make sure nobody gets bitter. And what draws liquid out of anything? Hello, salt. So we're gonna keep going with a few more tomatoes for that sauce. And the pasta that we're making, remember, bucatini cooks in literally half the time of the peachy. Okay, so now we're going to take literally a small handful of basil leaves, tear them, throw them into the pot.
It's like your grandpa.
That's right. My grandfather never touched basil with a knife. Thought it bruised it and ruined it. Now, a lot of people would add a little touch of sugar to this. Depends on how sweet the tomatoes are. And that's up to you. That's literally it. It just keeps cooking. We'll see you right back here in a couple. This is a mixture of pistachio and pine nut, and that's what I prefer. I'm Sicilian. I like to support our economy, and we're big on pistachio. But you want about 2 cups or big fat bundle of basil. And of course, you want just the leaves, not the woody stem. So what I do is take 2 tiny cloves or 1 big clove of garlic, toasted nuts. I use pistachio and pine nut combined. The 2 cups or so of basil, and the juice of a lemon, which I always squish, cut side up so the seeds don't fall in. Why did I cut off both ends? Because I find if the lemon feels ripe, I get more juice if I cut literally both ends. So now we need the olive oil. I put in half the olive oil to begin with, which is about 4 turns, because you're gonna use 1/3 to 1/2 cup of olive oil for every pesto you make, okay? I pulse that in. I don't like to over aerate pesto. It comes out too light green, and the color isn't intense enough for me. So I do the first pass, right? I also don't like to put in the cheese until the end for the exact same reason. And then you have a choice. Do you want red pepper or black pepper or no pepper? Honey, do you want red pepper, black pepper, or no pepper?
Let's do red pepper.
Okay. So then you add in a bit of pepper of your choice. A bit. This is not a hot sauce, obviously. It's literally a room temperature or cold dish. But literally, you also don't want it to be too spicy. So just a sprinkle of whichever pepper you choose. And you see the color you get when you keep it coarse like this? Look. That's rude, right? I'm like, ah. But that's what I'm talking about. It stays coarse and bright. It's got a little citrus thing. It's got balance. So we're going to marry this with the pasta by doing what? By taking the starchy cooking water. At this point, we have a big head start on 2 out of the 3. What's the third pasta? What's the white? Cacio e pepe is literally that. Cacio e pepe. So, I have choices here. If you don't like pepper, you might want to skip the cacio e pepe altogether because it's half the dish. But you want coarse, like barely broken, smash it with a pan. This is from La Boite. I asked them to just coarse grind it for me. I always keep it on hand. Coarse ground black pepper. I also have a pepper blend. You can get funky with this. You can add pink pepper, which tastes like a firecracker. You can add white pepper, which tastes really earthy and musty and kind of like, wow, where am I going tonight in Lower Manhattan? What band am I listening to? Every pepper has a different personality. And something like this is called Pierre Poivre. Poivre means pepper, so that's kind of cute. Pierre Poivre. Sounds like a little character. Kind of dig that. So you can use a pepper blend, a little bit of pepper or a lot, but for every pound of pasta, I use 2 tablespoons of pepper, 4 tablespoons of oil. If you want to make this dish richer, you can add butter, or you can add cream. You can even melt in super soft cheeses to just make it like decadent and crazy. But cacio e pepe is supposed to be just that. Cacio e pepe. The cheese and the black pepper and the water from the pasta itself. As I said, peachy's a difficult choice because peachy takes literally like 20 minutes to cook. No joke. 17 to 18 minutes. period. You can buy it online if you can't find it in your store. You wanna be out of here in half of that time? You can make all 3 of these things in less time by using bucatini, which will take you, again, 7 to 8, so like half the time, okay? So for the cacio e pepe, that's the white of our 3 sauces. We're making the Italian flag pasta sampler. Quite frankly, the red sauce is done. I turned it off. The green sauce is done. My husband put away the base to the food processor. So cacio e pepe, as I said, is literally cheese and black pepper. But there are different methods and great chefs that teach this in many ways. If you want to add richness and sweetness, you can add butter. And you may also add really thick cream to this if you want to make it super rich. But traditionally, this is how it's done. You need a whisk. You need a cup. It could be a coffee mug. It doesn't have to be a Pyrex cup. You need the starchy liquid, and you need your pepper of choice. To mix this, I'm gonna use the mixed pepper, okay? So this has every color of pepper in it. I'm making mine a little different than just traditional, a little different than just black. But I'm gonna put a touch of that coarse black pepper in the oil. Why are we putting the pepper into olive oil over low heat? Pepper has oil, okay? The oils can spoil, so you should always keep it cool and dry. But when you add pepper to hot oil, it bleeds its flavor out. And it makes all of the oil very strong. It'll literally grow hair on your chest at this point, this pepper, okay? We're not going to add salt. Why? Because at the end of this dish, we're gonna add about 2 cups of loosely grated 2 to 2.5 ounces of pecorino romano, full of salt, very tangy, sheep's milk cheese. What's the first thing we have to have happen? We need an emulsified sauce for the cheese to melt into. How are we going to do that? With a whisk and a cup. We're gonna take the salty liquid, slowly add it to the oil, and whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk. We're going to emulsify cooking liquid, and you see how literally a sauce is forming in the pan. Doesn't it look like you added flour or something to it? It's creepy weird, right? It's nothing. It's pepper, olive oil, and water. But it looks thick and luxurious and like shellac. It's crazy. I know, it's weird. But it's so fun and so cool. And it smells amazing. It's very important to aerate this. You can't emulsify these ingredients. They'll just spit all over you and stain your clothes. You can't emulsify them if you don't aerate it while that process is happening, okay? Now I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. And now, I'm gonna do the next fun part. Start adding cheese little by little. Why little by little? So I don't end up with what looks like chunky vomit. Not to be gross, but that's what would happen, okay? The point of putting the base in there is that you have something to add it to. Just like if you're making macaroni and cheese, same principle, okay? And again, if you want to make this super crazy, creamy, lovely, you can add sweet butter or you can add cream. I'm gonna stick with the cheese. And I always save some cheese for on top and extra at the end. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more and reserve the rest. And once this marries, now we have our white, okay? Let's see how pasta's doing. When you start cooking this long enough, you'll be able to say, oh, I think that's done. But basically, you just take it out, whack at it, take a little piece off the end, and see where you're at. I think we're there. We can toss with everything. You always want to undercook your pasta by 1 to 2 minutes. I've discussed this so many times with people, it probably sounds ad nauseum if you watch any of my recipes. We're gonna take a third of the pasta and just drop it right into the cacio, okay? Delightful. We're gonna take a third and drop it right in here. God, I wish I had a third pound. I may make you guys wait and cook off some bucatini just so I could show you. I wish I had a bigger pot. Dang it. I'm gonna take the last and toss it with the pesto. I'm gonna try and make this work. Come on, you little stragglers. Get out of there. Alla leone. Let that set and get beautiful. And we'll finish this up in a couple. What are we gonna add to the alla leone? Couple more leaves of basil right at the end. What do we add to the cacio e pepe? Like nothing. Do you guys want butter or cream? I don't know. You want to go kooky? Here, we'll put in a little butter. You want a touch of cream? I got some. But you don't need it. Classic is what we just did. We'll just do it to gild the lily. All right? So you can see. All right, now you got a little bit of creamy goodness going on in there. Okay, so now all we got left is the greens. Some pesto in the pot. I have extra because I just don't have enough peachy. Now I'm adding more hot liquid. That's your magic. That's your magic always. Cooking liquid. The pasta. And the carryover cooking we were talking about. Tossing, tossing. Mixing, mixing, stirring, stirring. Continuing to cook the pasta itself. I don't know, man. Maybe we can take a hair more of that pesto in there. We might just make it with this. Might just make it. I cooked 2 pounds, but peachy is so huge. Okay, so first platter. Green machine. Put that back in the lineup there, my friend. Hand me the middle one. Dave's got to be a character in the show. Sorry. White.
Do you want to set them here?
No, you should do it down the middle. It looks prettier. White. Hand me the other one. Who's gonna bring me the third one? You are. Red. Place it, please, at the end of the flag. Now, somebody get a shot here, please. Here we are. I think we actually did it. The pasta took the longest. We have green, white, red. 2 pounds was supposed to feed 8 people, but I think it'll only feed 4 at best. Green, white, red, Italian flag pasta sampler, boom, in any language.